Let me explain a little bit about the origins of Youth C. There have been 4 generations of superheroes so far. First generation was often worshipped for its heroes. The Silver generation, they were just trying to find their place in the limelight. Third generation, we started to realize this was going to keep going. Now, you guys, as the 4th generation, kind of have to suffer with this stigma that everyone's developed against powers. Your powers aren't really seen as gifts anymore, just nuisances. When Hypertide joined the CCWP and left the city, no one had their hero to look up to anymore, and I think that's where the problem started. He put the Youth C in charge of keeping the city safe, so the program has probably been going for about half a year now, but obviously it hasn't been successful.
I'm sorry about not responding or anything.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm also here to kind of stay away from everything else too. I am gonna have to go back to the team though, sometime. And I guess I was hoping that you would come with me. I know it's asking a lot.
Yeah?
Really? I'm kinda terrified.
What are you scared of?
Honestly? Lyle.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned from your guys' team, is that you guys might have moments where you argue and fight, but in the end, you guys are really great friends, and it's just kind of something that I don't get to see very often, but it's really cool. And I hope that that friendship gets to stay.
Hi, I'm Nari. I met Lyle while he was in Lucky Heights.
She smiles at you and extends her hand, and she goes, I don't know if I need an introduction.
And she's just like, she's just this awkward little 19-year-old. She's like, she doesn't want to be wrong. If it's not his mom.
This is his mother. This is Blood Moon. Her human name is Faith. And she is one of the founding members of Quip. I gave her one of the most stereotypical origin stories I could think of in comics, which is they were an archaeologist, and then they fell into an area and found a mystical artifact.
Nice.
The mystical artifact was this container that held like a wolf spirit, like a werewolf spirit, and this is all in the meta. She's not explaining this to you.
No.
So using the spirit, she basically became like a werewolf. She's been fighting crime for a very long time. But what the wolf spirit eventually told her was that she could share the spirit between multiple people. So eventually she met her husband, whose name is Carl. I went out of my way to give them very normal names.
Okay, yeah, but at the same time, you know how terrible it is that she named all of her children elves?
Yeah.
How dare you?
She wanted a gimmick. So she
That's terrible.
She married into the Lowe family. She married Carl Lowe and revealed to him that she was the superhero Blood Moon. She split her powers between them. He became her sidekick / partner Blue Moon, and they were like the heroes of the city, and they like basically cleaned it up on their own. Eventually they had their first daughter, which was Laura, who became the very first Timberwolf. But eventually Laura kind of got into a lot of fights with their mom and wanted to move out and be their own hero. So they moved out and in a kind of fit of teenage rebellion named themselves Silver Bullet.
That's
So
cool.
edgy.
I like
Yeah.
that. I really like Laura.
Thank you. Yeah, Laura's great. Then their second daughter, Lindsay, took over as the Timberwolf. and things were good for a time. They had a son who is Lyle, who they also split the powers with and were training, but was too young to really be a hero at this point. And that's kind of when things took a turn for the worst. There was a new supervillain in town who kind of became their arch nemesis and, frankly, the biggest threat they'd ever dealt with. He called himself Viscera, and he had the ability to like spontaneously create and generate weapons out of his bones and use them, like fire them off. He mostly went with like chains and hooks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was
That's
basically
brutal.
yeah.
I'm imagining that. Can you imagine just doing that with that would hurt so much. So you must really want to kill someone if you're doing that with your bones.
He was a mix between Wolverine and the Joker.
Jeez.
And he was pretty intense, and Lindsay died fighting him. After that, their dad, Carl, stopped being Blue Moon. He retired, and he became like very judgmental of the vigilante / superhero lifestyle, and actually like outspoken. He leads groups that protest Quip. He has like town meetings where he talks about the dangers of what these people do.
Is this Footloose?
Kind of.
I'm sorry. I'll stop interrupting.
It's Footloose, but with wolf ghosts. After Lindsay died, Lyle became the next Timberwolf, and he helped his sister, Laura, and he helped his mother take down Viscera, who is, like, in jail today, as far as, like, they know. He was shipped off somewhere to, like, a supervillain lockdown facility. But the family never got over it. Laura moved out. She was doing her own thing. There's stress between the mom and the dad because of their very different beliefs about how the law should be handled and who should be doing what. And while they continued to be together and they didn't believe in a divorce or a separation, and they still loved each other very much, there was still that strain of, like, they both fundamentally disagree what the other's doing. Lyle was pretty much his mom's only partner for a bit there, but, you know, it's a lot of pressure, and especially when your sister died doing the thing that you are doing in pretty much the exact same clothes, there's that extra level of his mother being instructive and strict and, like, trying to make sure that he was safe. So eventually, Lyle, one night, got into a fight with his mom and realized he needed to do what his sister did, Silver Bullet, and move out and try and figure out who he was, not defined by his family. And so we get a lot of nights of him, like, quietly working with his mother through the night, and then spending the morning researching different nearby cities and superheroes. We see him talking to different superheroes about whether or not they'll take on a new sidekick, and them all saying no. We get a lot of, like, early morning him having not have slept at all, looking for different programs, and then he found Youth Z. And they were the one place that didn't turn them down. But he knew his mother would never allow it. So he panicked and he lied to her, and he told her that it would, like, he was joining a good group and like was going to be working with, like, officials and forming connections. And he basically said he was going to go do the Teen Titans, and then ended up at, like, a juvie camp that he signed up for. And so after that, he went and he realized what was happening after a few tries. He had to come back home after, like, only 2 weeks. And He came home crestfallen, knocked on the door. His mother wasn't home because it was night, so she was out on patrol. His dad answers. He steps in quietly. We get these shots of him, like, in tears, trying to explain what happened to his dad, and his dad hugging him. You see his dad calling his older sister and his mom, and then coming. We get shots of him explaining everything and showing all of the files and all of the notes he's taken and all of the newspaper clippings, and he has it all out on this table, and he's like explaining and trying so hard not to cry, and just a big family hug. And he's sent up to his room, and he can hear his mom talking to people at Quip on the phone. And that was yesterday. And today he is getting texts from Nari about where he is and if she can come say hi. And so, Nari, I think, like, Blood Moon guides you in. I think she introduces herself as Faith, and, like, brings you into the kitchen and, like, sets you down at the table, and she goes upstairs to go get Lyle, and then Lyle comes down. He is, like, in old sweatpants and like a pajama shirt, pretty much.
Baby. Sorry. Mari's just gonna be like, it's nice to see you comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what she's gonna say because she's always seen Lyle so tense. This is the first time she's ever seen him comfortable.
Yeah, honestly, this is like the most relaxed he looks, and you don't know if it's because he's like too worn out to be uptight.
And she's gonna be like, I know the programs. And she's gonna be really quiet. She goes, Can you curse in this house? She's like, she's being the sweetest little guest. She doesn't know.
Blood Moon shakes her head no.
Thank you. I'm just making sure. It's terrible, but I looked over the papers, and one is they're getting rid of the Youth Z program. They're changing it into a public rec center. The second, though, is the new program, and she puts the papers down and slides them over to Wow.
He starts flipping through the papers, and he goes, honestly, that was probably their smartest choice. I told my mom everything, and we've been talking to Quip about investigating youth, like setting some internal affairs people over to talk about how to handle these programs in the future, and hopefully talk to Hypertide. We're just in like planning. We're talking about it. I don't know if they'll agree to it or not, but Mom says she's gonna try and make it happen.
And she's gonna look over and go, "Thank you." Does she call? I imagine she goes, "Thank you, Mrs. Lowe." She's not the type to call a parent by their first name. Nari is the sweet baby. And then she turns back. She goes, "What I think is that with this program, Miss Shepherd said they're planning on having it be volunteer, and I don't." She's trying to drag the fingers of her eyes. I don't know if even if Hypertide isn't involved, I think the program itself, with the right people implementing it, I think that would be something better for Lucky Heights.
He takes a deep breath, and he sighs, and he like nods. Probably good moves. I don't know what's going to happen with Hypertide. I don't know if they'll even begin an investigation or talk about just like a mismanagement of power or abuse of his position, or even if any of this can be traced back to him, or if it is just entirely on the organization's fault. But that sounds like they're making changes for the better.
Now, here's my other question. I'm not gonna lie, I really like working with both you and Bree. You don't get along very well. I get that.
He looks really sad.
But I can already tell you don't like that, and I like being with you guys. You guys are the first people who have ever said my powers were cool and not called me a freak of nature, and I really like being with you guys. And I mean, obviously, no one's gonna force you, even with this new program, but even with this new program, you can come back and be Timberwolf here in the city with your mom and the rest of your family. But
I think he looks like really sad at that.
But I think that us as a team, we could do some good. I mean, Miss Shepherd was only doing her job, but I think she really wants to make it better. That's why she offered me the papers, even though we shouldn't know about this. She wants to make this better, and she thinks that us as a team are good enough for that, to help be better and show people that it's okay to be like this, or like, I don't know what I'm saying, but really I really kind of just want the team back, if I'm being completely honest.
Lyle is looking like super sad, honestly, but he goes, "Is Bree okay?"
I think we're all just kind of shaken up. I mean, that was something, and she seemed okay. I mean, as okay as you can be, what we just went through. She went to get Kirby, and I said we could meet up in the city here. So, question, did they send a text to Nari saying they were heading over?
Yeah, did Briam.
Probably. It's probably really badly spelled though, because Bree's probably like in the new upgraded kind of
I
car,
think that
just
Kirby
like-
would send the message, because Kirby would probably see you trying to send the
Don't
message,
text and
freak
drive.
out, and be like,
Yeah.
no texting and driving.
No, I was thinking you're driving, but Bree's trying to help and like
Oh.
fix things up while you're telling her what to do. Because she
Oh.
doesn't know how to drive your spaceship. But
That's
she's
fair.
trying to help however she can. So while she's doing all this, she's texting Nari, but it's really badly spelled. She's like, "Hey, we're on our way," but like, "Hey, we're on our wig."
Wig snatch.
Nari looks down the text and she goes, I think they're on their way, but this could also be
I think they're getting drunk.
them getting
Please don't
drunk?
say that in front of my mother.
No. This could be they're on their way, or they're doing something, or she pocket texted me. I don't know how that could happen, but
I think Kirby would also try to have them ask, where are we going?
Nari gets a text from Bree saying, "Shit, where is Lyle?"
There's lots of gurs.
Hey, G's like in the middle of the keyboard, so.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair, but the R.
And I feel like Nari goes, do you want me to send the address? Because I don't know what they'll be coming in. Do you want to meet somewhere? She's like looking at Lyle. She looks at this jumbled mess. She's like,
I think he looks at his mom. And I guess if his mom consented to have Nari over, then she would, like, consent to having them over, I suppose. So, yeah, he nods and says, like, yeah, they can come too.
okay. And she would be like, she would give the address, and then she would be like, please, 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 this is a really nice neighborhood. Please, please don't crash land on the lawn or something.
It's such a nice neighborhood, and I would hate to see you ruin it.
Yeah, she's like, she just sends like 5 pleases, the PLS, just please, please, please.
Mm-hmm.
You get a thumbs up.
Um,
And then just like a keyboard spam.
Oh god.
he goes, Nari, when Nari's done texting and listening to that nightmare. I don't think you understand. I told my mom everything. Like,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna let me go back.
The thing is, Lyle, she's gonna look over, and she doesn't want to be rude, but at the same time she wants Lyle to branch out. She goes, I think, although it wasn't a good program, not by a long shot, it was good for you to grow. When you first came there, you know how our first day went. You were kind of
It went bad.
exactly, but like you as a person, I don't want to be mean because you're great. You know that.
But
I think you're great, right? Please,
I know.
you know that.
And thank you. And I think you're great. I think I had a lot of fun with you and Bree, and I think I
Lyle,
enjoyed helping you with your powers, and like I hope I was helpful, but it's not up to me. I have to listen to what my mom says. And when I say, yeah, the first day was pretty bad, all of the days were pretty bad. I was homeless for a few days. I lived out of a hostel.
you didn't say anything. She points her finger at him with that, like, no, that was your fault. I offered, Bree offered. That was you.
No, and
But
that's...
I'm not talking about how they went. I'm talking about how you have changed from the first day I met you. Already, just in this short amount of time. You came in, and as you know, I think you're wonderful now. You were kind of like someone shoved a silver
Keep in mind,
spoon.
my mom is at the other end of the kitchen,
I know.
please.
She's trying to keep it. You had a silver spoon shoved up, and I'm not going to finish that statement because we both know what I'm going to end up with, and I'm being a polite guest, and we don't curse in this house.
You get a weird look back.
Does Lyle not know what?
No, he's just like...
You that was the way you acted, and that's probably why that first date we weren't exactly getting along, and because you were acting like you weren't trying to. I see that now, but you were acting like you were better. But throughout these, even though they're terrible, horrible,
I mean, we
things
now
happened,
see in the burning wreckage of Youth Z that I had points. I was making good.
Yes.
I was making
No.
a good argument.
No, you were. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Looking back,
Okay.
you were. But at the same time, I'm seeing you as a person, not you as a hero. Because you as a hero, you're amazing, Lyle. You're a fantastic hero. Like even that first one, you were efficient, even if it went disastrous. You were efficient. You knew how to handle the danger, and with each time we've encountered someone, you have your super speed and all that werewolf stuff, which I'm not gonna try to wrap my head around it. I'm not. Because I was born. Nope. She just puts her hand up. Nope. I was born with
He's like looking at his mom to see if he can get the go-ahead to explain how their powers work.
No, she's just like, nope. I was born with telekinesis and telepathy. We're not gonna get it.
Okay, we're just not okay.
Yeah, she's like, no, that's not the point.
He seems
You
a
have
little
that.
disappointed.
We can talk about that later, but not now.
No, it's okay. It's really interesting.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no,
prospect.
I don't doubt it, but we're not talking
Okay.
about that now, because that's not the
I
subject.
understand.
But I'm saying that you've grown, you've expanded, you've been offering you help. You always, at the first, you barely talked to me, and now you've been helping me with powers. You've been setting the plans. You've been trying, even though you and Bree don't get along very well, you still try your best, and you still work well with the team, and you're kind to Kirby, and like you introduce yourself to people, and you make your points known. You're very honest and good, and I think that in this new program, it would really help, but also it would give you the potential to actually grow, like not just as Timberwolf the hero, but as Lyle, the 17-year-old.
I think that I would like that a lot. But you still have to convince my mom. Frankly, even if she does say yes, things have to change with how we operate Phoenix.
I agree.
It's not just Youth Z. It's how we operate as a team. We can't keep getting in each other's way. I didn't mean to hurt Bree.
And even Bree knows that.
But
Lyle, even Bree knows that.
yeah, but the fact still stands that she didn't trust me enough, and that she has stopped me from doing what I was taught to do since birth multiple times. If we reform as a team, we need to be going into every situation on the same page, and you have to understand that sometimes violence is
the answer.
Wait, what did you say?
Rowan quietly in the background. Is the answer.
Also, I like how the DM has not spoken for the last 20 minutes. Not saying anything against you, but it's like kind of crazy how much we're doing on our own.
No, I love it. I'm enjoying the story.
And then just the little tiny bit in the middle, the DM being like, "Is the answer?" That was
I
so
was
great.
about to say violence, and I was like, is he about to say violence is the answer?
No, he is definitely 100% not going to say that.
But he thought
he
it.
feels it.
No, he does not. He doesn't. What he was trying to say.
Okay.
Before he was interrupted by God.
Okay, we're good.
Sometimes, in order to protect people, violence, it should never be the first thing you go to, and I think I've done a pretty good job of asking everyone to stand down, but some people don't, and you can't hope that they will listen to you eventually. I wasn't going to hurt those people, I promise. I'm not going to hurt those kids, but they were a clear and present danger, and sometimes, in order to keep innocent people safe, you need to act, and you need to make decisive actions and quick decisions. And I can't keep that city safe if Bree is going to throw her body between me and known criminals. I know she doesn't trust me, and she thought I was going to hurt them, but do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Lyle, I do. I think we really do need to. That was one of the things with Bree coming in, even Kirby. We need to sit down and talk this out, because that's a big thing between you two. I'm the one having to go back and forth as you guys miscommunicate your meanings. And
I feel I've been very clear.
okay, you have, but it still is a miscommunication on Bree's part, and that transfers to miscommunication from you too. You both are being very clear, but you're not understanding the signals. It's like someone's trying to speak Spanish and like a dialect of Spanish, and someone's trying to speak like Portuguese. It is similar enough. You can pick up words here and there, and like you understand.
Nari was Japanese.
Nari's is Korean, but she's just using this because it's it's just a very common thing because with Latin. Yeah, Nari's Korean. It's the idea of knowing that you know some general things, you can understand each other pretty well, but stuff gets lost in translation.
We need to be more professional. At first, I didn't agree with how you people were handling heroing, and I still don't. But we can't. We need to change how we operate, and we need to be on the same page, and we need to be more professional with this, because when we're not, people get hurt, and I don't think he's seeing Nari right now. I think he's just seeing Viscera and his sister Lindsay.
I get that. What do you think? I would sometimes I get you need to be extremely professional, but other times it needs to be a mixture of both. Because that was the thing with Seeing Red and oh my gosh, I can't remember the name.
Third Strike. I punched out their tooth.
Yes. But that was the thing, is they needed to be talked to. Like, yes, they needed more structure. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, they needed comfort. That was one of the problems, is that they were alone with just each other.
Yeah. He totally agrees with that. Like at the mention of like being alone and needing comfort in a superhero, like that's something he deeply relates to.
And she goes, so I get needing to apprehend him. Like, we needed to get them down. Like, that's why I had Seeing Red. I was trying to keep Seeing Red from the ground because I didn't know if it'd work or not. And that we do need that. Like, that when I had the statue, someone needed to apprehend them and, well, kick their butts, so to speak, so that we could stop the statue from falling over and other people getting hurt.
Didn't we get yelled at for that one too?
Not to my knowledge.
We got yelled at a lot. It's hard to keep it all.
We weren't so much as yelled at as we got the disappointed voice.
Which I feel was a little unfair, because I think we did a good job. It's fine.
I think this is a good place for you guys to hear a knock on the door.
That's kind of what I was doing. I was like trying to put a space in the conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to like interrupt earlier, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to interrupt because you guys didn't interrupt during mine, and I was like, I don't want to be mean.
Okay.
Also, all the conversation has been good, but
I'm glad I could make an awkward pause for them to come in.
You hear a knock on the door.
I almost expected them to crash the spaceship and
Lord.
We're not gonna crash.
No.
It probably skids a bit and maybe falls over sideways, but that's it.
But it's still hovering, so it doesn't actually skid and it doesn't actually fall over sideways, or like on the ground.
It makes a cartoonish skid sound in the middle of the air.
Exactly.
Goodness.
It's the brakes.
And Kirby is sitting there like in panic, being like, my baby.
I can't believe my mom is going to arrest you.
Bree wobbles up to the front of the spaceship as she puts a hand on Kirby's shoulder, really wobbly, just, buddy, that was amazing. This is amazing. You're so cool.
Are you sure Bree isn't drunk?
Kirby is in panic.
Kirby, you're okay. We're alive.
Ugh.
Bree stumbles out of the spaceship.
And Nari goes, I tried. I asked them. Nari just has her hand over her eyes. I'm sorry, Lyle.
Ugh. This is probably the point in time when his mom answers the door.
Yeah, did you guys see that out the front the window or something?
I think we're still in the kitchen.
Oh.
You probably heard a clunking of the new machinery trying to
Oh,
fit into
Lord.
the old machinery.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is they heard it. And that's why Nari's like, I am so sorry. That's why I asked.
Okay, so
Bree sees the mom. She's like, "Hi, we're Lyle's friends and Nari's. We're here to meet up."
Rowan, do you want to control the blood moon?
Alright.
Just be very, very mature.
I'll try to not make her sound like Miss Shepherd.
Take out the really niceness of Miss Shepherd and just make stern mom.
They're all mother. Everyone is mother.
Honestly, if she sounded like Miss Shepherd, that would explain a lot about why he's always trying to impress her.
turns out everyone's Miss Shepherd besides us.
Everyone rips off their masks and they're all Miss Shepherd.
Everyone was Lyle's mom all along.
Yeah, okay. Faith opens the door and Bree says that, I guess. And Faith is like, I didn't know Lyle was expecting more than one.
He wasn't. But we texted Nari, and Nari probably told him, so he probably does.
Also, hi, I'm Kirby, and I wave a
This
whole
is
bunch.
Kirby! He made that spaceship.
Nari is hearing this from the kitchen.
I'm dying currently.
Yeah, Nari is so embarrassed. She's been this prim, proper little guest doing her best, and then she just hears this commotion. She wants to die, trademark, of embarrassment.
Faith has, this faint line of a polite smile and is like, did they now?
Oh.
Kirby is an entrepreneur.
I feel like he would have told his mom. But I guess it must have slipped past.
He probably, thought he had mentioned it when he mentioned Bree. He probably was like, okay, yeah, my friends are coming over. She probably thought it just meant Nari and Bree.
Not the alien.
Well, maybe not expecting a giant spaceship to be
It's
put
not
on
that
their
big.
front lawn.
Yeah. He definitely wasn't expecting the spaceship.
Bree kind of looks back at it. It's like, do you want us to park it somewhere else?
Oh, I need to fix that, huh?
It is hovering, but it is on your lawn, so...
Nari goes, I asked you specifically not to get on the lawn. She's
Well, we're not
literally,
on the lawn. It's above it.
literally, Lyle is in the kitchen just seeing Nari with her hands over her eyes and her elbows on the table, and she looks like she wants to get swallowed by the earth.
Lyle has melted into a puddle. Lyle isn't here right now. Lyle has perished.
I like
Rowan,
Yeah.
we can't come in unless this bomb lets us in.
I know, but you all are reacting, and I'm listening to the reactions. It's great. The mom's like, well, Lyle, were you going to go out with your friends?
That depends. They're here to talk to me about joining Phoenix again.
Faith nods, and she's like, all right, if you're going to stay, you may park it on the driveway.
Okay.
That wasn't a no, folks.
And Kirby just flies over and just pushes it.
Bree kind of like watches from a little further, guiding Kirby to where they need to go and park it. Just like, oh, no,
Alright,
you gotta
back
go
up,
to your
back up.
right. Gotta go right. No, too far right. Too go left. Okay, straight.
Oh my gosh, my dad's gonna be so mad.
At least we didn't break anything.
Do we go in?
Although
He's like, he is inspecting the grass. Kirby, is the grass okay?
I think so.
Okay.
Kirby was hovering.
Kirby is concerned a lot about grass, so.
Deep sigh of relief.
All right, let's go inside.
So I think when they enter into the kitchen or wherever Lyle and Nari are,
Think kitchen.
yeah, when they go into the kitchen, when Bree sees Lyle, she kind of like freezes up, and we go into flashback mode. And I did actually type this out for like the past half hour.
Nice.
So, we cut to Bree at the center of an enormous building, standing at one end of a series of bars and landing pads. A crowd cheers, and she takes a deep breath before taking a running start. She runs and jumps. She flips and grabs onto a bar and swings her way up onto a taller one that she spins around multiple times before letting go, the crowd taking an audible breath as she flips into the air and lands perfectly with a smile on her face. We cut to her standing on the second tier of a 3-tiered stand with a silver medal around her neck, a bouquet of flowers in one arm, as she waves her other one, an ecstatic grin on her lips. She leaves the building, people all around her congratulating her, and she hugs the ones that she recognizes. The competition was in the town over, so she begins her walk to the bus stop. On her way there, she hears a shout. Across the street, she sees a woman and a young girl being backed into an alley by a taller man. Bree looks up and down the street, but she can't see any cops, and everyone else is either not paying attention or looking around as well, just as Bree is. Adrenaline is not a new concept to Bree, but this is different. Usually, she's in control. She tells her body what to do and how to do it. But as the man pulls out a gun out of his coat pocket, a new sort of adrenaline takes over. The bouquet drops to the ground, and Bree bolts across the street, leaping over the fronts of cars and dodging between passerbys. He sees her coming, but she grabs his hand and pushes it into the air. A shot fires and rings in her ears. She kicks his legs out from under him, and in a swift movement, swipes her medal off her neck and uses it to tie his hands behind his neck. She kneels there, breathing heavily, holding him there as he lies there stunned. The sound of the child crying snaps her out of it. Bree looks over at the mother and her child. Go out onto the street where it's safe and call 911, okay? You're safe now, Bree says, trying to sound more calm and in control than she feels. The mother thanks her and leads her crying daughter out of the alley. The police arrive and take the man into custody. One of the policemen approaches Bree and holds out a medal. Second place, he says. That's pretty good placement. Yeah, thanks. Is he okay? Bree says, taking it back and hanging it on her neck again. He looks over at the police car and chuckles. He'll be fine. Not sure why you're worried about it. You took him down. I don't want to hurt anyone. Even if they're bad, it just makes things worse. He shrugs. That's one way to think about it. Can't say you're right, but I think it's a good mindset to keep. He sighs. Don't try to make this a habit, though. You could have gotten severely hurt. If this happens again, just call us. Don't try to do it yourself, or we might have to write you up. Bree hesitates before agreeing. The policeman offers her a ride home, but she declines. We cut one last time to Wednesday night. Bree is home on the couch, wrapping up the cuts from the previous fight. She winces as she uses alcohol to clean the cuts from Lyle, and she sighs. She packs up her supplies and lies back down. She curls in on herself, her breathing faltering. And we pan up to see a collage of ribbons and medals hanging on the wall, but in the very center is a silver medal in a well-kept frame.
Why are we all so sad?
And we cut back to real time, and Bree is like I don't think you've ever seen her, like, freaking out, but she's, like, trying not to look at Lyle, and she's, like, almost hyperventilating.
He walks over to her and he goes, "Are you okay? I'm sorry I hit you. I promise I wasn't aiming for you."
No, I know, I know. I'm sorry I got in the way. I don't blame you. I get it.
He hugs her.
Bree is stunned, and after a bit leans into it, and she cries into his shoulder a little.
I don't. Someone else needs to do something.
Is that in character?
It's this awkward pause of them hugging going on in real time.
Yes.
Okay.
Bree mutters, and she's like, I'm real sorry, Lyle.
It's all right.
We have our differences, and you're right. Sometimes we can't do it the nice way. I just really wish we could.
I really like how, despite Lyle being awkward, he's not totally antisocial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's an introvert by any means.
He does have a bunch of sisters, so I feel like that does make a difference as opposed to being an only child.
I think he just, like, isn't super sure how to, like, hold himself or, like, in certain situations because, like, he never lived that normal life, so he doesn't super know how to conduct himself when it comes to situations like that. But, like, this kid is like this universe's Robin. When he was, like, 14, he was sassing people with guns, and, like, his mom was punching people in the face while he, like, cheered and made fun of them. He was, like, speaking to cops and, like, Superman when he was 7. Like,
yeah.
So
I feel like there's an interesting character development in Lyle of him deferring to his mother every moment that she is in the room.
I mean, like, that it's the same thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just thinking it's an interesting character.
Yeah, like he's
cut to the scene from the Sparta movie. Just, like, looks back at his wife. She nods, turns back to Guy. This is Sparta. Kicks him into.
Because, like, his mom is, like, not only does he view himself as, like, a kid who is still living with his mom at this point, but, like, she's not just his mom, she's his boss. She's his mentor. Like, he defers to her, like, it's very clear when she's in the room, but he's been deferring to her this entire season. Like, from day one, he, like, when Bree got really mad at him for name dropping, it wasn't because he was bragging about, like, how his mom was Blood Moon or all the superheroes he knew. It was because whenever he thinks of something, he thinks, well, what would my mom do? Or what would my mom have me do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like it. It's not like him being an edgy teen and trying to be like, gotta get away from my parents. And, like...
I'm glad. Thank you.
Oh, shit! Who's taking care of confetti?
Don't you have a roommate?
Roommate's out.
They're back in town. As of today.
They came back in town today. I was thinking, like, it was back to the halfway point of the season where I was, like, talking about how, like, I felt that Lyle was unlikable, and I wanted to find, like, the balancing point between an unlikable character and a difficult character.
Yeah.
And I decided, like, this is, like, that's the difference. Like, if he was unlikable, he would continue to be like upset about it. But
He's not heartless.
no, I think like that's the difference. That's what makes him like a character I can enjoy playing,
Yeah.
and I think the audience will also enjoy. Is he's
Yeah.
not a huge dick.
He tries to be professional,
Yeah.
especially like on the field, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a heart.
That's it, right? He's a professional, but he's not heartless.
He's a lawful good baby.
He's a
We
lawful
all
good
know this.
baby. So yeah, I decided to be nice and make up, and that kind of was a big motivator for how I narrated his family receiving him when he came back home, because if he was going to be mean, I would have had them not take that nearly
Yeah.
as well. That flashback would have been very different of them not being nearly as cool when he told them the truth about what he's been doing for the past
Because
2 weeks.
he would have had to learn his ways of being nice from someone.
Yeah.
Second chances.
I think it also makes your parents a bit more human, because
Yeah.
then, like, I feel like that's the easy thing to think, that like they would just be mad about it, but like it makes
Yeah.
them, they're still parents though.
Yeah, it's like the difference between the movie Batmans and the comic Batman.
Yeah, they're intense, and like he's stressed out about like what they believe and what they want him to do and like how he was raised, but they're not bad people and they genuinely love their children. Yeah, I think we all sit down in the kitchen and like there's hot chocolate and coffee made by Blood Moon.
Yes, hot chocolate. Bree is totally a hot chocolate person. Does it have marshmallows in it?
I
Yes.
don't. Okay, thank
course.
goodness.
This is a mother with 4 kids.
3 kids.
Still, she knows. Gotta have marshmallows.
Okay, she knows. Thank goodness.
But they're like good quality.
It's true. She's got that archaeologist paycheck.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that Bree's jacket, you could see that there are marks where it was sewn back together.
Ah, kill.
In the heart.
I just wanted to add that in.
Why you gotta do that?
Crushing, horrible kill. Which is wild because that wasn't my fault. Why do I feel bad about that thing Bree did?
Well, it also kind of symbolizes healing.
Because it was all meant in both sides as something good, but came out as bad on both sides.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, let's continue the role playing and actually advancing the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Bree sips from her hot chocolate.
So,
Did you catch him up on the whole new program thing, Nari?
that I told him it was a participant-based one and that it's destroying the Youth Z. Yeah, I hopefully cut him up. And he read it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Lyle?
Is there a move I can make to look over the stuff, or are you, as the DM, just going to tell me like there's like nothing to gain from that, or?
Pretty much everything you already said.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So it's a complete redoing of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The paperwork is like, you're signing up to be a hero. They'll know what your powers are. They'll be able to assign you to certain things. They're saying like, hey, we can tell the media and the police about you, like that kind of stuff.
It'll be more
actually,
hands-on than them
Yeah.
controlling us.
and like you're reading through it. It does include some nice thing. It's got like free therapy and
Oh.
counseling and
Oh my gosh.
Yes!
This group needs it.
Yeah.
So, Bree's like, I think it's worth a shot. I think we can trust Miss Shepherd on this. I think it's a good idea. But we really can't do anything unless you're up for it. You're kind of the leader.
Yeah.
Wait, his eyes widen. Am I?
I'm I'm gonna let go of my pride, and I'm letting you be the leader. I'm gonna try and follow everything you say now.
And Nari goes, I've kind of been seeing you the leader for a good while now, actually. Why do you think I just listened to your plans?
I thought it was because no one else ever bothered to make any.
And Nari goes, okay, if I really wanted to, I could have, but no, I thought your plans were great, and you're a good leader.
Oh, his poor little furry heart swells. Oh, okay. He looks at his mom. Can I do this?
She walks up and she kind of picks up the paper and scans over it, and then flips through all the rest and scans over each one. It's like, I suppose it's your team?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay. Well, if that's what we've decided and that's what we're doing, first things first, Wait, are you joining us, Kirby? Or were you
So
Breeze Ride?
here's the thing, though. I think I've gotten what is important for me from the Youth Z program. And I have discovered that I really am enjoying working on my Kirby craft and stuff. So, I mean, I do want to keep in contact with you guys. I want to keep on talking with y'all and stuff. But I think I'm just going to kind of be my own thing. And then when I can get back to my planet, just hopefully talk to my parents. And
That's okay. Call us over sometime. We'll have a party. Watch a few movies.
will do. Yeah.
Movies! That's Nari
Yeah.
gets so hyped because that's her thing.
And maybe I'll make a little vehicle for you later, Cotton
Aw.
Candy.
Oh.
Thank you! That would be amazing.
Lyle goes to shake Kirby's hand.
Kirby shakes back.
In the middle of that handshake, Bree just comes over and hugs them.
And Nari joins in. Nari's like, no, this is a group hug moment. You two don't get out of it.
As far as I'm concerned, Kirby, you are an honorary member of Phoenix, and
Oh,
you just let us know, okay? There's always a spot for you here.
okay.
You're always welcome.
Thank you. Smiley face.
Okay.
Phoenix team doesn't have to be rescuing the world. We could be rescuing our hearts by watching a sad movie.
I'm just gonna hang out and watch a movie.
Nari just goes, I will educate you on movies, excuse you, that's literally my degree.
Heck yeah.
So, where are the four of you hanging out? Or are you going back home, or?
I think we talk in the kitchen a bit more. I think Lyle explains that, like, we need to go into fights on the same page and we need to, like, not stop each other from doing what we're trying to do. Real quick.
Oh.
He does suggest that Nari gets a proper super suit. He does say, like, I think we need to, like,
Should they all get super suits? Is that what we should do?
Do we find Edna?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I think Bree can, like, permanently re-dye things. So if you find something that, like, you think would be cool, but you don't like the color or design, Bree could just, like, recolor it.
That would be amazing.
That's one of the things
Well-
he suggests.
As the camera pans up and out, you see the team excitedly discussing their plans for the future and their new outfits and how they're going to run their team. Kirby has found a place with friends that understand them, and it's a good Friday evening in in the city of East Center.
Oh.
Hey Mark Experience audience, and welcome to the end credits. Thank you so much for listening to our show. If you want to see MXP art and laugh at the dumb jokes we make about our own show, you can find us on Tumblr at tumblr.com/blog/markexperience. If you like the music, you can buy it all at markexperience.bandcamp.com. And we also have merch at redbubble/people/mark-experience, where you can buy posters and shirts and stickers. If you want to donate so that we can create more content, you can head over to our Ko-fi account at ko-fi.com/Jamie Remy. That's spelled JAMIEREMY. That's my name. You can find this podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher, so listen wherever is easiest. Have fun browsing, and we'll see you next time.